마지막인데. 근데 이거 엔딩이랄 게 뭐 있나? 뭐 쩌는 스토리가 나오겠지? 마지막이니까? 아, 이 게임을 풀 때마다 소리가 커지는 것 같아. 올 때 혹시 초콜라떼 사올 수 있냐고 물어봐야지. 혹시 올 때 초콜라떼 나 주실 수 있나요? 오늘 원래 가족이랑 외출을 하려고 했는데 일어나니까 가족들이 떠나 있더라고. 근데 오히려 좋아. 귀찮거든. 준비하기도 귀찮고.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street,
베이커
invite you,
우곡대가 맞는
Sherlock
거야?
Holmes,
유격대가
and
맞는 거야?
Dr.
방금
Watson
유격대라고 써있지
to
않았어?
our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder
정말 우리
in
가족도
Danny
양반은
Nutcracker's
못되겠구만.
way. Ah, sounds
아싸!
disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the
아싸.
stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us.
그래?
You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother, Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They
레이튼?
say he's killed
레이튼
2
교수님?
men. You
덜덜.
have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about the dinner. Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
그래도 코난 극장판 중에 베이커가의 망령이라는 거 있거든요? 그거를 봐서 그런지 단어들이 좀 익숙하구만. 아, 나도 방금 보낸 거라?
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our...
뭘 해야 하냐? 여기서 사건 현장 조사하고 목격자와 대화하기. 맞아요, 그거 명작인 진짜. 작화도 그렇고 그냥 명작 그 자체. 제가 좋아하는 극장판 중 하나죠. 아, 뭐야, 여기 끝이네? 그 말씀 좀 이렇게. 여기 끝이네? 뭐야?
Locked.
아?
Locked.
싫어. 집에선 프림 못 만들잖아.
Locked.
프림 듬뿍 얹어야 된다고.
크림?
프림.
크림 크림을 사가지고 듬뿍 얹어.
아니 그거 어떻게 사?
Please, gentlemen,
그거는
leave the scene.
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Mara. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
잠시만요.
Who were the victims?
돌아가주세요.
The two men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler,
아,
a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
이 사람은 그냥 경찰이라 그게 없나 보네.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the
그건 우리
fireworks in
재밌겠다.
honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been...
근데 다시 봐야겠어. 엄마는 대화하느라 잘 못 봤네. 두 명의 총상을 입었고 몸집이 큰 남자는 불량배를 악명 높은 브라이언 베르 코티, 다른 남자는 보석상 케니스 버틀러. 목격자가 둘이 더 있다. 연립주택에 거주하는 토너라 꽃을 팔던 폴리파월 부인. 반달거리 북쪽의 순찰승이었는데? 불꽃놀이가 시작하고 얼마 후 용의자가 반달거리로 달려갔다. 그렇군. 얘가 보석상?
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
열쇠다.
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
평범한 열쇠면 집 열쇠가 아닐라나? 그릇. 끼어있는 물체. 나무 조각.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
양아치라 했나?
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand.
Oh.
Death was not instant. The
상처.
bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful
아프겠다.
wound. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there. Brian Vercotti suffered greatly.
자기들끼리
What
총질?
a terrible way to
에이,
die.
마지막 에피소드인데 그런 뻔한 이야기일 리가 있겠어요? 반전이 있겠지.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Miss.
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
뭐 아까 또 있지 않았나 방금? 네. 라이언 티너. 터너?
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective, gentleman? I've heard of you. And, well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story? Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel.
창가에
Then I walked
머물렀다네?
out to tell them everything I saw.
근데 경찰은 아무도 없었다 했는데? 너 왜 거짓말해? 균형패, 방한무, 크림전쟁, 산전용사. 떨어져 나간 단추, 빈곤한 산. 아, 내 가디건 단추 하나 더 떨어지기 직전인데. 저름 파리.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
모순된 증언. 경찰 도착할 때까지 연립주택의 창가에 있었다고 진술했는데, 하지만 외로운 경관의 진술에 따르면 창가에는 아무도 없었다고 한다.
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard?
It would be my pleasure to assist.
아, 신문하기.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
하지만 너 거짓말이잖아.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful
너
moment to
내
tell you
눈을
the
똑바로
truth, sir.
쳐다보지 못하는구나.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very...
벽난로.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
키가 있네. 불씨. 듣더미. 불타버린 종이 뭉치. 뭘 털고
The
있었을까?
papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here. These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
창문.
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Anything
부엌칼.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
부엌칼. 잔해. 잘게 조각난 종이.
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
종이 내용이 뭐였을까? 선반, 지팡이. 어? 나무
A
조각?
perfect match.
너
So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
구라를 쳐.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
침실도 가볼까나?
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
방금 뭐 옆에 뜨지 않았나? F. 침대에서 일어났어. 침대에서 일어나고 무슨 일인가 싶어서 창문을 열지 않았을까? 지금 어디 갔어? 다가갔다가? 뭐야? 왜 4번이 안 돼? 이거 같이 있는 거야? 다가가서 무언가를 집어 들었다. 이게 같이 있는 거구나. 이건 뭘까? 아, 지팡이부터 놓고 자르고 던지자. 어디로 갈 때는 일단 지팡이가 필요하니까 빨리 가마. 헉, 저게 뭐람? 이게 무슨 일이지? 오케이.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
피, 책, 기름때.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look. Well now, what a
장신구?
find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book.
아, 이 장신구를 넣기 위해서 여기 책 가운데 부분 잘라다가 그거를 불태웠나 보다. 제 보석상한테서 장신구 훔쳐다가 이거 숨겨두려고 책 가운데 뜯고 그걸 불태운 거지.
A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
이거 도둑놈이었구만. 너 이 자식 대화 좀 하자.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
근데 너
I
다리가 좀
highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were
끝까지
most
거짓말을
sincere.
해? 안 되겠네.
Mr. Turner,
일단
you were not sincere
도둑놈으로
with me.
잡아가자.
Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes,
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
아, 너무 쉽구만. 다음은 소재 확인하기? 나중에 하자. 저 열쇠는 저 시체에서 가져간 열쇠는 어디 열쇠일까? 이 사람이 목격자네?
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
총성.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
이 사람은 스캔 안 하네? 볼통폰 팔찌를 먼저 알아볼까? 나 뭐 받은 거 있나? 없네. 서재. 연립주택에서 발견된 순간팔찌 수량 머리로 장식되어 있다. 이거네? 전시대 희귀 보석류는 그리스 시대의 봄을 대표하는 미술품이다. 팔찌와 목걸이 반지에는 각각 5개의 사냥 머리가 묘사되어 있으며 모든 작품은 순금으로 만들어졌다. 도난당했다고?
Here it is. I need to continue my research in my archives.
보물 관련 기사 찾아보기. 이거는 신문에 있지 않을까? 85년. 어제 저녁 대형 박물관에서 글래스퍼드 미술 전시회로 수송 중이던 그리스 시대의 보물들을 도난당하는 사건이 발생했다. 케네스 버틀러는 역사적인 미술품을 자신이 경영하는 처치가의 정당포에 판매하려 했던 사람이 있었다는 사실을 런던 경찰국에 제보했다. 경찰은 항구를 통해 런던을 빠져나가려던 빈센트 폴리라는 보도에 검거했다. 그리스 시대의 보물을 운송하던 마부가 그의 얼굴을 확인했다. 수감 중인 빈센트 폴리는 나머지 보물들을 어디에 숨겨뒀는지는 털어놓지 않고 있다. 경찰이 현재까지도 보물을 수색하는 중이다.
Here it is.
폴리 왜 이렇게 익숙하지?
One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen
정당포에서
Hellenistic
단서를
treasures.
찾아봐야겠다.
A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
왜 이 사람밖에 해금이 안 됐냐? 일단 동당포 가보자. 전시품. 여긴가? 아니네. 아, 여기 열쇠구나.
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock perfectly.
실례. 불 어디서 켜? 너무 어둡다.
Crampons and a
암벽
sharp
등받이
ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
뭐 없고 계산대 똥문 선반
A flare pistol.
발사장치
Perhaps it was
조명판.
pawned by a destitute sailor.
아, 혹시 그 소리가 하나는 작다 했잖아요. 진짜 얘는 조명탄 저거 썼는데 놀라가지고 상대는 진짜 총 쏴가지고 죽은 거 아니야? 근데 한 명은 왜 죽었지 그러면? 일단 더 봐야 될 듯.
The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 rams of Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
아 지금 사방에서 시계 소리 들려가지고 너무 신경 쓰여.
It looks as though Mr. Butler
근데 왼쪽
kept a
오른쪽
careful
다 시계
record
소리
of his
째깍째깍 들려.
operations.
아 이거 가져가라고. 케니스에게 내게 석양머리가 새겨진 고대 그리스의 숨은 장신구가 3점이나 있다고 그랬잖아. 혹시 아직도 가지고 있나? 어떤 녀석이 그걸 애타게 찾고 있다는 소식을 전해주려고 이렇게 편지를 쓴다네. 현찰로 두둑히 준비해뒀다고 그러더구만. 물주소가의 만남을 주선해줄 테니 내 몫으로? 조금만 떼어주게나. 일요일 저녁 불꽃놀이가 시작하기 전에 대로변과 맞닿은 하프문 거리에서 기다리겠네. 어떤 녀석이 그 양아치 걘가? 그 피해자 한 명 이름이 뭐였죠? 아이씨 기록을 봐야겠네. 아하 브라이언 베르포티. 그 편지 다시 볼 수 없나? 둘이 아는 사이였구나. 케니스? 잠시만 얘 이름이 뭐였지? 보석상 맞네? 아씨 나가고 싶다 여기. 다 찾은 거 아닌가? 이거 말고 또 없지? 일단 여기는 뭐가 없는 것 같죠? 이렇게 신문하러 갑시다.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
증거가 하나 추가됐네. 절도 혐의는 없다. 증거품을 보러 가자. 쉬네. 여기지?
A cheap
시계.
watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. These cigarettes
담배.
are filled with cheap tobacco, nothing interesting. So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
뭐야?
Two out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
두 발을 사용했다고? 권총. 토너의 총성에 2차례 들렸다고 진술했지만 실제로는 3발의 탄환이 발사되었다. 첫 번째 탄환이 발사된 직후 두 종의 권총에서 동시에 탄환이 발사되어 그렇게 들렸던 것이다. 상황을 재현하라. 어디서요? 일단은 신문부터 하자. 아, 나와.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr.
어이구.
Chapman.
Who are you? I've got
얼굴에
nothing to
흉터가.
say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother. You know him. Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
누가의 멍도 있는 것 같은데?
blimey.
아주
All right, Mr. Holmes.
밤탱이가 돼버렸어.
I'll tell you everything.
저거 다크서클은 아니지?
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through
검사한테
Half Moon
맞았다고
Street.
했다고요? 어...
I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
신고할 시간.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. Second one
하긴
was already
눈앞에서
dead.
사람이
Had a hole
죽어가고
in his head.
있는데
He was holding a gun in
나
his hand.
같아도
though. I
정신없다.
took it. And then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I
이상한
swear
일이
to you,
벌어졌다고?
my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that
번쩍임의
I
눈이
hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all.
남자
It
맞아?
was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette,
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
뭔가 이거 두 번째 거 다혈질 같다. 길거리 출신. 손수건. 사무용 정장 사무직. 아, 저 소리구나. 어! 손가기로. 아, 자꾸 가만히 좀 계세요. 그럴 것 같은데요? 아는 사이일 것 같은데? 최근에 얻어맞은 저항함, 다혈질. 쫓았던 이유가
Nathan,
뭐지?
I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was
부당한
like a
범죄자를 잡아야
reflex.
한다는 생각.
A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life.
그러니까 아니 무장한
That was a
범죄자를
little
왜 잡을
foolish,
생각을 했지?
Unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
끼우. 하지만 넌 그 사람이랑 같은 수감자던데?
I'm sure that you
동기 아니야?
were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian
금방
Vercotti?
들킬 거 말이야.
We were convicted for a robbery.
강도 혐의.
Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
오래된 친분. 레이튼이 진술했던 정체불명의 남성은 자신의 죄를 덮으려고 창조한 가상의 인물에 불과하다. 나중에 선택할 것 같은데? 일단은 저거 시험하러 갑시다. 그러면 거기로 가야겠지? 여기였나? 아, 너무 어둡다.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
아, 여기서 이렇게 피해자 중 한 명이 도찰을 발표했습니다. 어떤 인물인지 파악하세요. 얘가 누구지? 얘가 보석상인가? 일단 얘로 해보자. 네.
I am
무사히
unable
보자.
to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
이걸로 하면 안 돼?
This should be useful. This
조사하기.
is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
완료했네. 그냥 아무나 선택한 건데.
It would be my pleasure.
세 번째 탄환. 하프문 거리의 벽면에서 세 번째 탄환의 흔적으로 수정되는 구멍이 발견됐다. 서로에게 충고를 겨눈 케니스 버틀러와 브라이언 베르코티는 죽음을 맞이하고 말았다. 현장에선 한정의 권총이 사라진 상태다. 왜 다 빨개? 따로 뭐 해야 되나? 하긴 단서가 너무 많긴 해. 케니스 버틀러와 브라이언 베르코티는 누군가가 저지른 이중살해의 피해자다. 여기도 빨간색이네? 아프문거리 살인사건은 네이튼 체프먼의 개인적인 원한을 빌미로 벌어진 소동이었다. 클릭해봐. 다 빨간색인데? 목격자의 증언 및 살해 흉기를 종합해보면 레이튼 체프먼이 유력한 용의자다. 이것만 파란색이다. 모습을 감춘 누군가. 외투를 입은 남성이 갑작스레 사라져버렸다고 진술했다. 진술 속의 인물이 실제한다면 세 번째 탄환이 발사됐던 사실과 현장에서 두 번째 권총이 사라졌다는 사실을 증명할 수 있다. 추격극을 재현하자. 경관한테 말을 걸라고.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
숨바꼭질이라니. 아, 내가 찾는 거네? 가보자. 아, 너무 어두워가지고 근데. 뭐야?
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
아니 이거 숨은 거예요 이게? 뭐야 이분 어디가?
No, this is not how I walked at the time of the
헐,
crime.
어디로
I was
살았어?
more
뭐야?
attentive. Let's start over again.
어디로 숨은 거야? 이 자식? 깜짝이야!
Here you
What?
are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
와 진짜 모르겠다. 이게 숨은 거 맞음? 이제 너무 어두워가지고 이게 혹시 내 뒤에서 줄 따라오는 거 아니야? 아니군. 여긴 좀 밝은데? 여기 있다.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
근데 어두워서 피할 수 있겠는데요? 범행 시간 벽면 등반? 하프만 거리에 있었던 정체불명의 남성은 모습을 감추기 위해서 위로 올라가는 방법을 택했다. 당시의 상황을 재현하기로 했다. 불꽃놀이 흉내낸 다음 벽면에 올라가도록 해야 한다. 그럼 가서 갖고 와야겠네 그거? 여기 있었지?
These tools are exactly what I need to climb the wall.
다시 갑시다.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh, no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
어디서 시험을 보는 거죠?
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
어디서 시험해보는 거지? 아! 조명탄도 갖고 와야겠었네? 아, 부담스러워. 왜 날 저렇게 쳐다보는 거야?
This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash
아,
of the
폭주.
fireworks.
재현이 이거구나. 아하, 오케이, 오케이.
Wiggins, my lad, what are you...
아, 여긴
I've
또
done nothing wrong.
여기 올 때마다 대화가 떠.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can.
이번엔 내가 자, 흔적을 남기지 않고 벽을 올라가신 장소를 벽 타고 오르기. 타고 오르기. 다 해보지 뭐.
This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
아, 내 눈. 뭐야? D. 아, 연타야. A. 그냥 누르기만 되나? D.
I can barely see anything. Holmes? Are you there? Where is he? My God, a man can't
5초,
just
한
disappear
15초
like
지난
that.
것 같은데요?
Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
다락방을 조사하세요. 어딘데요?
This is the back
여기?
door.
너무 어두워. 창문.
Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic, but in his haste he ripped his jacket.
외투가 찢어졌다. 외투. 다라해진 천. 검은색 실.
A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope.
그리고
These
유리조각.
shards of glass are from the window above. We can conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch.
단서가 또 많이 그거 안 나네? 이거야? 왜 다 빨간색이지? 다음에 또 조사할 거 있나? 없는 것 같네? 그러면 분석하러 갑시다. 왜 자꾸 절 쳐다보시죠? 이렇게 맞닿는 것도 난 너무 불편한데? 그 대각선으로 앉아주면 안 돼? 마차 그렇게 좁나?
Let us take a closer look.
초점 조절하기.
It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch! Holmes!
머리
Oh,
뽑았나봐.
don't make such a fuss. One little hair.
인간의
Human
머리카락.
hair is significantly thinner than the black sample. The horse hair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
B. 그러게요. 말보다 큰 거면 곰 정도밖에 없지 않나? 대응. 하프문 거리에서 모습을 감췄던 인물은 30피트에 달한 벽면에 순식간에 올라갔다. 숙련된 고개 단원의 에? 그래서? 상상 속의 인물은 아닐 거 아니야. 하프문 거리의 살인사건은 도난당한 그리스 시대 보물을 사이에 둔 다툼으로 인해 벌어진 소동이다. 이건 다 연결됐어. 눈속임. 레이튼 체포문에게만 목격되었던 남성은 벽면을 타서 범행 현장에 빠져나왔다. 솜씨 좋은 고개 단원인 모양이다. 유랑 그딴을 찾아달라고 부탁하라. 위긴스? 그러면 아까 거기로 가야 되나? 아니요, 여기서도 부를 수 있나?
I'm
부를 수 있네.
always wondering what...
Wiggins is currently
그래?
at Half Moon Street.
하프문 거리라서 반달로 번역한 거구나. 아, 진짜 좀 떨어져 앉아주세요. 저한테. 날 너무 좋아해, 왓슨.
Look here, lad.
Ha!
뭐야. 맛있다.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal, a very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
다음날 아침, 이른 시각.
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
4, 3.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
질소보다 빠르네. 코끼리.
And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. Duval Brothers,
두발 형제.
a well-known travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
아까 또 흰색 털 아니었어요?
Aye, you. Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
You're wanting to apply for... Nah, you don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
What? Nah, I don't think so. Clear off.
출입할 수 있을 만한 모습으로 변장하라. 어? 그 옷 있던데? 왜 이렇게 뭔가 이상한 옷이 많나 싶더니 없네? 이상하다. 서커스 다운원 복장 있지 않았나? 그럼 저 모습 어떻게 지저분한 옷까지 신분을 숨길 털? 농부? 모자가 없어. 이게 강도 복장이? 모자는 따로 있는 건가? 심지어 해금이 안 됐는데? 잠겨있는 거 보니까 강도 복장인가봐. 미친. 모자는 아무거나 해도 되나? 이걸로 가죠.
I would be easily recognized without
아,
facial
수염.
hair.
예. 프링글스 해야겠다.
I'd better wear a
야,
shabby
이
hat.
정도면 허름한 모자 아니야? 대체 어디까지? 이 정도? 이거면 허름한데? 야, 모자 다 똑같이 생겼잖아. 됐다.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Thank God, Holmes.
그냥
I can't get
셜록홈즈인데요?
used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go.
눈썹도 없애고 가자. 원래 눈썹이 사람 인상 표현하는 데는 제격이거든요.
Who are you?
뭐야, 오늘 누구
What's your
온다고?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
오늘 누구 온다고?
Talented, eh?
누가?
Let's see. Go
아, 진짜?
inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to
너무
trick him.
갑작스러워서
Got that?
I've got it.
문 닫고 가줘.
너 나와서 인사는 하고 들어가야 될 거 아니야.
당연하지. 문 닫고 가줘. 왜 갑자기 우리 집은 왜 오지? 아빠 친구분 오신다는데?
Charles Foley is inside the marquee.
So, everything is here just as you asked. And what about the money?
아씨, 나
Some of the
아까
barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight then.
잠시만, 방금 나 대화를 잘 못 봤는데? 폴리! 아까 어쩌고 폴리가 뭐 훔쳤다고 그러지 않았나? 가족인갑네? 유랑극단 조사하고 찰스 폴리와 안면을 트세요. 아, 옷 갈아입어야 되잖스. 왜 집에서 옷을 갈아입어야 되는데.
From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people. This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day. There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls.
이거 또 없나? 나가는 거. 나무통.
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out.
T.
The
뭔가.
crest of the Honorable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure.
그리고 이것도 뭔가? 흔들기. 뭐야?
Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is,
벌레인
in
줄 알았네.
fact, gunpowder. The barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were brought here in a hurry. Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the Merry Men quite recently. And these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The Merry Men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there.
Huh.
Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
일단 스캔부터. 고개사? 뭐야? 안전금고. 열쇠. 피 묻은 붕대. 뭐야? 지금 오셨네? 잠시만요. 옷 갈아입을 시간도 없이 오셔가지고 그냥 인사만 하고. 극악무도. 아주 무섭구만. 그냥 머리가 새겨진? 나머지 하나. 있다. 매서운 논추리. 여기 있는 자물쇠를 따라고 했지. 뭐 얼마나 복잡한지 한번 볼까? 겁나 복잡해 보이네. 이거 안쪽에서 또 이렇게 할 수가 있어? 어허. 이거는 이따가 있는 건가? 이거 뭐야? 이게 아까 내가 맞춘 거지. 이렇게? 그냥 이렇게? 이렇게 하면은 이렇게? 됐네? 역시 다들 스카이림 하세요. 그러면 저처럼 자물쇠 잘 땁니다. 야, 맞냐?
I need to find out what's behind this, Charles.
소재던 건축은 뭐 아직 근데 왜 그거 안
I
바뀌지?
need to find out.
이어지네? 미틸렌의 5순양의 일부인 골동품 반지를 끼고 있었다. 허리춤에는 권총까지 찬 상태. 하프문 거리에서 모습을 감췄던 정체불명의 인물은 찰스 폴리일 것이다. 이밖에 없네.
Oh. Well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
큐!
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
어떻게 이렇게 차분하게 다
Well, he
지어낼 수가
died.
있냐?
7 days ago, in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Osh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
빌리와 잭이 무슨
Wait for us
일일까?
at the
약간
abandoned
페트와
manor
매트?
house on a corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
노팅힐 저택. 맵이 별로 안
Here
큰가
I
봐.
am at the manor.
로딩이 빠르네.
Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic
안 나빠
treasures.
보이는데?
This lock is quite old. It shouldn't be much of a challenge.
완전 복잡해 보이는데. 뭐야? 이거는 감춰야겠는데? 잠시만. 이렇게 달 수가 있다고? 잠시만. 뭔 이렇게 복잡해. 보안 정말 철저하시네? 종류는 별로 없는데. 이 안쪽에 있는 건 이 캔구나. 이 안에 뭐가 있는지 몰랐네. 여기 이렇게 끼워넣으면? 안 맞는데? 좋은 도둑이 되겠어? 내가 스카이림 맨날 도둑 찍긴 해요. 근데 이거 되게 어렵다. 헷갈려, 이거. 이렇게 맞아. 뭐야, 됐네? 띠용?
I need to find where the safe is
오케지?
hidden and lockpick it.
아, 과자 먹고 싶다. 그냥 새벽에 사올걸.
This cupboard is an absolute mess.
진짜 엉망진창이고.
Several books have fallen from the shelves. It seems as though this cupboard can be moved. I'll give it a try.
오, 금고다.
So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
그만해. 이거 못 움직이네? 간단하네. 뭐 이것도 금고라고.
What a surprise. Another lock.
자물쇠가 또 있어?
And I won't be able to pick it. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out. Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door.
함정을 설치해라. 함정을 설치해라. 함정.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
이렇게 도망치면 된다. 오케이.
A solid rope.
튼튼한 밧줄. 이거 뭐야?
This chair is very solid and well made.
이걸로 함정을 만든다는
This
건가?
should be useful. A solid rope.
아직 다른 도구들이 더 필요한가 봄? 의자로 막기.
The door is now blocked. This should be
이거
useful.
밧줄로? 뭐 어떻게 하겠지?
The door is now blocked. The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police.
쪽문. 쪽문이 있었네?
This hatch leads to a cellar.
저기 망치. 뚜시. 그렇군. 저 부엌 어떻게 가지? 이것도 움직일 수
That is
있다고?
quite a heavy cupboard. This works very well.
아, 이렇게.
No one will escape through this window now.
이렇게 하면 창문으로 도망칠 수 없다. 여기 창문은? 막아놨구나. 근데 저 망치도 없애야 돼. 여기.
I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. It looks as though it was poorly attached. I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this formidable hammer, but they were unsuccessful. Now, if anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall.
헉! 아프겠다. 나 이거 다 봤나?
What a surprise.
이거 봤고.
Oh, that's a lovely old carpet.
이거는 여기다가 쓰는 걸라나? 다른 방도 한번 보자.
The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front door if the police are right behind it. If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down.
2층 가봐야겠다.
Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape.
이따가는 뭘 해둬야 될까?
This
계단.
is the perfect place to set a trap.
함정을 근데 뭘 할까요? 잡자.
This
구슬
should be
목걸이.
useful.
여기 다 싹 돌아보고. 근데 여기 되게 좁네. 갖고 와야겠다.
Oh, that's...
뭐 안 뜨네. 먼저 구슬을 어떻게 해야 뜨나? 구슬 흩뿌리기.
One step on these beads, and our thief will go flying. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined. Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly.
함정을 설치했고 이제 용단? 카펫?
Oh, that's...
아닌디?
The door...
다시 위로 올라가 볼까? 아, 왜 이래? 왜 자꾸 멈춰? 아, 왜 이러는 거야? 화나게 하지 마라. 저기밖에 안 남은 것 같은데?
The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front door if the police are right behind it. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
뭐, 아, 이제 열리네?
There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out.
근데 이런 거 제가 여기다 용단 쓰는 건가? 몇 년 전에 방탈하다가
The door is... This should be...
아, 뭐야. 방탈하다가 그 하수구 뚜껑
It's not an open
그
hatch,
열고 위로
just a nice
가는
carpet
그
on the
구간이
floor.
있거든요?
I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
실수로 근데 거기 아무 생각 없이 가다가 거기 이렇게 슈 했는데 빠졌는데 너무 무서웠어.
Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. The traps for my circus companions are all prepared.
내
I can
허벅지에
leave
행성만한
But I'll
상처
return
생겨가지고
later with
너무
Charles
아팠지.
Foley and his companions.
Police! Police! Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
You sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How'd you know about that?
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
형 아니야?
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our Queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men.
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers!
자, 뭐가 있는지 한번 볼까?
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
벌어진 노팅힐 저택에서 발견한 그 비밀 금고에서 85년 도난당했던 그리스 시대의 보물들 중 일부가 발견되었다. 사이스 풀리는 그리스 시대의 보물을 훔치려다가 하프문 거리 살인 사건의 용의자가 되었다. 이번에 이쪽이 뭐네? 손 쳐요. 목 잘라.
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful, you Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No life shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people, sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
뭐야? 아, 선택을 하는 거야?
When the law serves only the few, it can no longer be trusted. Every man is equal, and he has a right to choose his own way. I shall not stop you.
아, 배 아파.
So, you're interested in Russian literature now? Quite, lately. It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men. I should leave now. Sherlock, Dr. Watson.
깜짝이야.
Holmes, what just happened?
폭발했군.
What was that?
The start of a new world. Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait,
이상한 여자?
what? A lady?
아, 너무나 완벽한 결론이었네요. 그 사람이다. 가정폭력 하는 사람. 여기는 그거네? 그 목욕탕? 첫 번째 거. 모임? 아, 아까 거기구나. 셜록? 그냥 쏘쏘? 게임 자체는 재밌겠는데 이게 매번 에피소드마다 매번 스토리가 다르다 보니까 너무 빨리 끝나서 좀 아쉬운 느낌? 뭔가 이야기가 더 나올 법하면 엔딩이 나오니까. 후속작이야? 그건 좀 고민 좀 해보겠습니다. 그게 이호처럼 멀미가 좀 심하면 하기가 좀 그래. 뭐야? 나가도 되는 거지? 나가도 되겠네. 재미가 있었다.